Okay, so you've probably been there, right? That feeling, you know the words, maybe you even get the grammar rules, but then someone asks you something in English and blank. It's like this wall comes up. That gap between knowing English and actually speaking it, well, that's probably the biggest hurdle for almost everyone starting out. And here on the deep dive, we're not getting bogged down in, complex linguistic theory today. Nope. We're diving straight into a mindset shift, a really practical one. We're pulling out the best, most useful bits from this guide called Start Speaking English Today. Perfection is not required.
Yeah, and this source is great because it kind of sidesteps the usual classroom stuff. Our whole mission today really is to find those simple, actionable triggers, those psychological levers that let you stop waiting for some magical day when you're suddenly perfect. The goal is to genuinely start speaking, like today.
Right. It's all about practical steps you can take right now.
Exactly. Immediate application.
And the first thing this guide hits head on is that little voice inside, isn't it? The one that so many people hear.
Oh, yeah. That internal monologue.
That voice saying, my grammar's not good enough, or how can I possibly speak? Or maybe even worse, that fear whispering, I'm going to make a mistake and people will laugh.
Mm-hmm. And what's really interesting is that the guide argues the block isn't really about language knowledge, not fundamentally. It's more emotional. It's tied up with this fear, this terror of not being perfect.
So it's the fear that's the real obstacle.
That's the core idea.
Yeah.
If you can kind of mentally set aside the grammar rules just for a bit until you build some confidence, the whole picture changes. Get rid of that internal judge, and the speaking part starts to sort itself out.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit more. This mindset shift. The source gives us a really powerful starting point, doesn't it? That quote.
Every expert was once a beginner.
Exactly. It sounds simple, but it's profound when you apply it here.
And it goes further, too. It really hammers home that everyone who speaks fluent English now, at some point they felt just as scared, just as hesitant as maybe you do right now.
So it sort of levels the playing field, takes the pressure off.
Precisely. It makes fluency feel achievable, not like some exclusive club for naturals. It brings those experts back down to earth. They started somewhere, too.
Okay, I get the reframing part, but let's be real for a second. Isn't there a risk? Like, building confidence without any skill could just lead to, well, saying things wrong or being misunderstood. Is confidence really more important than getting the grammar right, especially at the very beginning?
Well, the guide argues yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
At the start, confidence is the engine. It gives a great little example. Say you want to express the idea, I'm learning English a little bit. You don't need some perfectly formed sentence with all the clauses right.
Okay.
Just saying, maybe slightly brokenly, but confidently, I am learning English a little, gets the message across. That's enough. The source is pretty clear. Simple, even slightly broken sentences, if you say them with conviction, they're actually more powerful than perfect grammar that stays stuck in your head.
Because you're actually communicating.
You're transmitting the message. It's the decisiveness, the intent that carries it, not the flawless syntax. And weirdly, the language starts to feel closer to you just by the act of using it, even imperfectly.
Okay, this is where it starts to challenge how we usually think about learning, right? Because normally a mistake is bad. Red pen, points off, failure. But this source says, mistakes are your teachers.
Yeah, it flips the script entirely. Mistakes aren't setbacks. They're actually part of the process. They're feedback.
It feels counterintuitive, though.
It does. But the idea is every time you make a mistake, maybe get corrected or even just notice it yourself later, you're actively engaging with English. You're figuring it out. That mistake isn't a step back. It's actually a step forward. It brings English closer, makes it more real.
And I guess that shift in perspective is crucial for tackling the next big hurdle the guide mentions.
Which is the translation trap, absolutely. If you're terrified of making errors, what do?
You try to build the sentence perfectly in your head first, in your native language.
Exactly, word by word translation. And that is just exhausting.
Oh, it's killer. Your brain is juggling two languages at once. It slows you right down, makes you tired, and often the sentences sound clunky. Awkward.
Because languages don't map perfectly, do they? Structure, idioms. It's a recipe for just freezing up, total paralysis.
So the fix, what does the source say is the key strategy here?
Yeah.
It's a clear directive. Stop translating. You have to try and think in English. Think directly in English. Easier said than done, though, right? If translating is your default, how do you just switch it off?
Well, it's not a magic switch, no. It takes conscious effort, practice. The guide uses a really clear example to illustrate. Instead of thinking the thought in your native language first, like, I'm going to drink water in Hindi, for example.
Okay. You have to consciously jump that step. Try to access the English phrase directly in your mind. I am going to drink water. Just make the leap.
Make the leap. And the guide is honest. It says this will feel really hard at first. Your brain will push back. It'll feel unnatural, difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine. This is too hard.
Exactly. But here's the fascinating part, the psychological insight. If you push through that initial resistance, consciously practice this direct thinking for just a few days.
The brain adapts surprisingly quickly. That feeling changes from, this is difficult, to, this is actually easy.
Wow. So it's about rewiring the habit.
Precisely. It shifts English from being this subject with rules you have to apply into just a mental habit, a shortcut.
And that habit formation, that's the key to fluency, not just knowing rules.
That's the argument. Fluency comes from the number of times you consciously choose the English thought pattern, not the number of grammar rules you've memorized. It's about building the mental muscle, basically, faster than just reading books.
Okay, so if it's about habit and just getting started, expressing yourself quickly,
Right.
then complexity is the enemy, right?
Absolutely.
Which leads right into the next big point, the power of simplicity. Forget fancy sentences, especially at first. The guide really emphasizes how little you actually need to communicate effectively. This is key for anyone nervous about starting a conversation. Think about, like, being in a shop. A perfect sentence might be, "Excuse me, please could you tell me how much this item costs?"
Right. Lots of mental steps there. Translation, grammar checks. But the source points out the simple alternative. Just point politely and say, price. Boom. One word. Instantly understandable in context.
And the beauty isn't just that it's short.
No. It's the massive reduction in cognitive load, isn't it? You've bypassed all those mental gymnastics. One word, delivered with enough confidence, gets the job done.
It starts the conversation, gets you the information, less chance of freezing up.
It drastically lowers the barrier to entry, makes it almost impossible not to speak.
And it redefines success too, doesn't it? Success isn't perfect grammar. Success is just being understood, starting the interaction.
Exactly. And to make sure those simple words or short phrases land with the necessary confidence, because that is important. The guide suggests an internal practice.
Affirmation. Yeah, affirmations. But not just, feel-good fluff. They were framed as cognitive tools, internal reinforcement. The idea is to slowly, deliberately repeat core beliefs to yourself. Things like, I can speak, I can learn, I can improve every day.
So you're training your brain to fight back against that inner critic.
That's the goal. You're building the self-belief you need to actually open your mouth when the moment comes, especially with, say, a stranger. It shores up the confidence needed for that simple price.
Okay, so we've got the mindset shift, the direct thinking, the simplicity. What's the concrete, non-negotiable daily action step then? It's brilliantly simple, almost deceptively so. The guide is strict about it. Speak one English sentence every single day. Just one. Not like practice for an hour.
Nope, just one. Because one sentence, well, you can't really make an excuse not to do one sentence, can you?
True. It's hard to say you're too busy for one sentence.
Exactly. It guarantees consistency. It kicks off that habit loop immediately.
Yeah.
And it minimizes that feeling of being overwhelmed.
It avoids that classic cycle, right? Where you promise yourself you'll study for an hour a day, do it for 3 days, then burn out and stop completely.
Precisely. One sentence is sustainable. You say, today I am happy. Or the weather is good, or even just, I am going to work. You've done it. You've succeeded for the day. You've made English a tiny but unavoidable part of your life.
And that seems to be the ultimate goal defined in the source, doesn't it? Making English part of your life.
Yes. Not just a subject you study or a skill you practice sometimes, an integrated daily habit. That integration, not striving for impossible perfection, is what leads to comfortable, long-term fluency.
Okay, so let's recap the big takeaways for everyone listening. We've really hit on 3 massive shifts today, haven't we? First, prioritizing confidence over perfection and learning to see mistakes not as failures, but actually as teachers.
Essential.
Second, ditching that exhausting word-by-word translation habit and consciously practicing thinking directly in English, even if it feels weird at first. Keep it simple.
Crucial for reducing that mental load. And third, committing to that tiny, achievable, but absolutely vital daily habit. Speak just one simple English sentence every day. No excuses. Consistency is key. So really the time for thinking maybe someday is over. The source is pretty blunt about this. Stop saying, I'll start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the killer phrase. You need to flip that internal script right now. Change it to, I start today. Like right now, make that decision and always remember why you're doing this. The guide has this powerful closing thought, remember?
Oh, yes, the motivation.
You don't learn English to show people, you learn English to express yourself.
That changes everything, doesn't it?
It really does. If your goal is just expression, getting your thoughts and feelings out there, suddenly the pressure for perfection just evaporates. And the good news is, you're already learning just by listening. You're already growing. And you already have enough language to start expressing something right now. You are enough to begin.
So, building on that goal of expression, not showing off, we want to leave you with a little prompt, a way to kickstart that start today habit loop immediately. Think about those simple sentences we mentioned. Today I am happy. The weather is good. I am going to work. If you had to pick just one of those right now, which single sentence best expresses how you feel or what you're about to do?
Don't translate. Just pick one. Think in English.
Start speaking today.